Hey guys, I'm here today to help you figure out how do you decide what it was that you were meant to contribute? How do you know if what you're doing is the thing? If you're doing the thing that you were meant to contribute, you're going to know it. You're already doing it. Those of you who are already very successful in your businesses and you're in the right track, you're doing the right thing, you're changing lives, you're having fulfillment, you're in the right place. What you want to do is just continually revisit that, make sure that you're going the direction that you need to go, because sometimes you can add pieces, sometimes you take away pieces that will help you figure out the direction that you need to go so you stay in the right path. Now, what if you are at a place, whether you're successful or you're just starting, where you need to figure out what that looks like? You've been thinking, everybody talks about doing this thing. I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't really know, what I'm doing. Or I've had this business that's so successful that I can't leave this income. I don't want to leave this income. And yet I feel like there's more. I feel like I have more to contribute. Well, have no fear, because that's what we're going to do today. There are 3 things that you need to do to make sure that you look at it and get a clear picture of what direction you need to go. And part of the problem is, and you'll find that I say this a lot, I talk about what most people do is, and the reason I talk about that is because we're not going to do what most people do. And a lot of times we end up doing the thing that we're doing, or we make the choice that we make because what everybody else thinks, because what everyone else is doing. And so we think that's the way, that's the hot thing right now, that's the fad, that's the shiny new object. But even if it's something that's tried and true, we are creating step skipping strategies. That's why, you guys, we break old rules, we create new ones. We are going to skip steps because there's no reason to take so long to get the success that you're looking for. And whatever success means to you, if that means a number of lives changed, it means a dollar amount in the bank, it means charities that you have helped, it means people that you have met, it doesn't matter what that looks like. For you, every person has their own thing. And one of the problems is people act like, some people act like, well, it shouldn't be money. You shouldn't be in this for the money. You want to know what? That's an absolute lie. That's an absolute lie. Doesn't mean it always has to be for the money, but if you are not making enough money to provide for your family, or if you're having struggles paying the bills, you might have a crazy successful business bringing in millions. But if your expenses are so high, and now COVID hit, and guess what happens? Now your income has gone down, and yet you've got all these employees that you need to take care of. I was just talking to someone recently who has worked for years and works closely with one of the owners of a gym that they have several gyms all over several states. And when COVID hit, guess what? They were doing phenomenally well. And all of a sudden, they had 3,000 employees that they're trying to figure out how to pay them. The owner went to the bank and was trying to get a loan out because none of the money that was sent out to help everybody had happened yet. And, nobody expected anyone to help pay for their life. So he's all thinking, oh my goodness. So what do I do? What do I do? He went to the bank to get a loan so that he could pay his employees. And he figured that he would figure it out as he went. But the banks would not loan any money. It had just gotten past this place where the banks were kind of freaking out. They're like, we're not going to give you money. We're not doing that right now. So he had to let 3,000 employees go because the gyms had to shut down. You think he didn't still have expenses? You think he still didn't have things he had to take care of? You bet he did. So I don't care where you are in your business. If you're at a place where making money is the thing that is driving you, that is okay. And don't let anybody tell you there's something wrong with that. Now, you'll find as you get to know me better, I am not about the money. The money will come. You will make plenty of money as you serve other people. But sometimes your focus needs to be on creating the income, and that's okay. And then what happens, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you're familiar with that. He talks about how this is for life and health. If you're worried about survival, you can't worry about transformation and becoming who you are meant to be. You're worried about not starving to death. And so that's what we're talking about. You have to get to a place where as you move up this ladder of place in your business, you get to a place where you can breathe and go, how can I serve humanity better? What can I do? We were able to start a 501c3, and it has been a really beautiful, powerful experience. And it takes a lot more time and effort than we thought. We haven't done as much with it as we wanted, but we have done some amazing things, and it's been wonderful. But there are 3 things that you need to do that will help you figure out if you are still on the right track, or if you're just starting, if you want to get on the right track. Number 1, look behind you. Look at the things that you've done in the past. What have you done that have been, what are the things that have been successful for you? I don't care if they're little wins, what seems like little wins. What are the things that you were always good at helping people with? What are the things that everybody always would ask for your advice about? What are the things that you always loved when you were a young kid? What did you spend your free time doing when you had free time? What did you dream of being when you grew up? And what I was going to say is part of what most people do. What most people do is they start to, the answers come to their mind. They think, oh, I wanted to be a princess. I wanted to be it. And you immediately go, oh, but that's not reasonable. Don't do that. Don't do that. Remember, we're breaking the rules. And there's a reason for this. You may not be the pirate like what a lot of people talk about, but guess what? I'm not a rule breaker like a lot of people talk about rule breaking. Most rule breakers are people who they act like they have to have this negative attitude. They act like they have to like show how everything everyone else is doing is wrong. That's not what rule breaking is for me. I'll tell you what, rule breaking for me means something very positive. We are creating new rules. We're taking what we already know. We're taking what everybody else already figured out, and we're going to make it better. We're going to figure out how to speed that process up. Look at Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson he coined the name funnel hackers. Well, at least he's the first one I know of who did. Well, guess what a hacker used to be? A hacker was someone who belongs in prison. They were people who were dishonest and they had no integrity and they would steal and they would hack everybody's. Well, guess what? People have turned that word into something beautiful and powerful and positive. He's got his funnel hackers. I'm a funnel hacker. I love being part of that group. And you know what? I'm proud of it. That's what we're doing with rule breakers. So the first thing is look behind you. The second thing is look around you. Look around where you are right now. What are you good at right now? I don't care if it's compassion. I don't care if you're a good listener. You might think that that doesn't turn into a crazy, amazing business, but I promise you, I have helped my clients turn anything that is their passion, the thing they love, the thing they're good at, the thing they want to contribute, we turn it into a lucrative business. That's not a problem. So if you can just trust for a minute, just let go of all those naysayers, the haters in your mind that are often coming from ourselves. I want you to look around you. What are you good at? What do other people say you're good at? What are people coming to you for advice about right now? And number 3, I want you to look ahead. Look ahead. What are you excited about? What result are you wanting to make happen? What is the thing you've kind of always dreamed that you'd be able to be a part of? I want you to think about that. I want you to think about it like this, because when I say this, a lot of times people, they can't help but have that negative, the negative comments, the little red devil on their shoulder going, yeah, but no, that's not going to work. That's not a legitimate business. That's what happens. Okay. So this is what I'm going to tell you. When I say it this way, it sometimes makes it a little easier to stop listening to those voices. I want you to imagine you have a magic wand. If you were to wave a magic wand and you could have everything set up the way that you dream, the way you imagine it will be, what does that look like? I want you to think about what that looks like and then narrow it down to the top 3 things. I don't care how unrealistic they seem. I don't care how crazy they seem. The top 3 things that you are the most excited about. And as you look at those 3 things, you will be able to narrow it down. Because when I told you how with your brain, all these millions of pieces of information are coming in and they're going to be able to focus on something. But when you have a million ideas and you can't make anything finite, then it's hard for your brain to decide. But if you've decided you want to contribute something, whether it's because you've already succeeded in a big way and now you're ready to add something to your business, or if you're a newbie, then guess what? You are going to be able to figure it out. If you can narrow it down to the top 3 that excite you the most, now your brain will take all those pieces of information and do something powerful with it. All right, I'll see you in the next video.